Welcome one and all to this cooking video, right? Making a video about cooking on a video game channel. So weird. But I came up with this really interesting idea to make pumpkin pie with an actual pumpkin. I know. So, there's absolutely no recipes on Google, at least from what I was able to find. I spent a good 15-20 minutes trying to find it. And there is nothing. I had to ask one of my friends on how to make this. And literally all she said was, do this thing, and also do this thing. But I didn't get precisely how to, so this is all going to be a fun little experiment. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and start this. Alright, so I am using a free recording thing. So, right about here, give or take, there's going to be a line that says, this dude's using a free thing. So you might not be able to see me cutting the pumpkin or anything, but we're going to at least try. I've already done an incision around to kind of cut time a little bit. And we're going to go ahead and finish it off. Ow. Don't cut towards yourself. There we go. There we go. Look at that goop. Look at that goop. Alright. Over here on my sink, I actually have a strainer. So don't think that I'm just throwing these seeds away because I'm actually going to cook them. Not too sure where to put this. I don't think I can throw it away. We're going to put it here. We're not doing a jack-o'-lantern, so we're not going to start cutting it up to look like a jack-o'-lantern. We're just going to cut it instead. I'm going to need a bigger knife for that. Yes! Bigger knife. It doesn't need to look pretty. It just has to work. Ooh, that's going to sound beautiful on the microphone. Let's go ahead and cut this bottom part off. Ah, gross. Duh. Listen to that. The microphone's literally right here. So, have fun with that noise. Oh, also, real quickly, what I'm cutting it on is a pizza pan. Dad said, don't make a mess. I put it on a pizza pan. Okay. So, got that. I'm going to go ahead and scoop this crap out. Boop. Scoop it out. Ice cream scoop. So then it'll look like this. No seeds. Gorgeous. I didn't think a whole lot of this through. There we go, another pan. Alright, next one. Alright, once you get all the seeds cut up, I'm going to throw it this way. Once you have all the seeds cut out, you can actually go ahead and rinse them off. Told you I didn't waste them. Basically what you're doing is you're trying to remove all the seeds from the pulp. This is one way to do it. The other way to do it actually is to put it in a cauldron and just have the seeds soak in the pulp. The seeds will then float from the pulp on up to the top, I guess is a way to say it. That I actually got to read on Google. They had that info on Google, but not how to actually make a pumpkin pie. You see, do it with cold water, but it's freezing, and I don't want to deal with that. Hot water, please and thank you. There are so many seeds. What is this? Look at this. Just everywhere, seeds. I might take some of these to work. Jeez. Look at this. Look at this. So much. It's actually really easy to clip them off, though. You literally just kind of like squeeze at them, and they... I'm going to fly into the other sink. Here we go. So it's like, it's not like an all bad thing, it's just... Jeez, there's a lot of seeds. Pop, 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 pop. It's almost like bubble wrap. I was kind of thinking about not doing this, just simply because I was like, man, this is going to be gross. But this is actually kind of fun. Oh, there's some more. Oh, there's some hidden within. Jeez. No wonder it is so easy to grow pumpkins, or I think it's easy to grow pumpkins. You know, I'm going to retract that statement. I'm not too sure how easy anything is. Try to grow cotton, and I couldn't even do that. Try to grow a cactus. Yeah, try to keep a cactus alive. I think that's pretty easy too. Nope, not for me. Me and my black thumb will just kill everything. Make sure that when you're doing this to get the big huge chunks of pulp and throw them into the trash can. I know I do not have a sink that has the grinder on it, so it won't actually go down in the sink. For those of you that have the grinder, that will allow you to do that, good for you. Top notch. Alright, now the real hard part is actually making sure that there is literally no pulp at all. The pulp will burn, and your seeds will turn out like absolute crud if you have burnt pulp on top of the seeds. Washing my hands with pumpkin seeds. Just washing my hands with pumpkin seeds. Hope the smell doesn't linger. Oh, dude! It's a seed within a seed. Alright. What I may do is actually just soak this. Like, leave them in some water for a little bit. Because reason being is because I'm just not able to get rid of all this pulp. So I'm just going to throw them into a bowl with water. Hopefully the pulp will just immediately come off, I hope. I think. I don't know how this is going to work out. So let us experiment. That's basically what this is. This is probably not even going to be a cooking video. This is more like an experiment. Will this work? Will Draco be able to make a pumpkin pie, or will he leave it all in absolute disaster? So stay tuned for this exciting episode of What the Hell Went Wrong? Alright, I'm not entirely sure how well this is working, so I think I'm just gonna say screw it and throw this in the oven anyways, I think. I mean, I got quite a bit of the pulp and whatnot. There's some that's kind of like floating around. This has only been about like maybe say five minutes, give or take. So I'm going to go ahead and put it back in the strainer. Oh nope, I'm going to clean that strainer first. Look at that grossness. Oh, we can't actually see it, but I'm going to clean the strainer. I also have a strainer in the strainer. So any of this pulp that would go down the drain actually gets clogged up by this other little strainer thing that I have. Which I would suggest you do. If you ever do this, it makes it a little bit easier. Unless you got that weird, cool, grindy thingy, in which case, still kudos for you. But yeah, there's a little... Next thing that you need to do, try to drain out a little bit of water. Then you move it over to this pan, which is off screen. I'll move this pumpkin real quick over in this direction. Okay. This way you can see what I'm doing with the pumpkin seeds. I about said pumpkin pie. I got pumpkin pie on my brain. Alright, so the next thing that you do is you flatten them out as much as you possibly can. Once again, this is actually on Google. This is what I was able to Google, not how to make pumpkin pie. They're like, you need to buy a pumpkin pie filling that's in the can and use that. And then you can put it with milk and eggs and all that stuff. So I'm just going to make the pumpkin puree. I think that's the word that you use. Alright. Once you got things pretty nice, you got quite a bit of pulp. I'm pretty impressed with myself. Neatos. Once you get it nice and kind of flat out, I'm literally just palming it with the palm of my hands, being nice and gentle. Treat it like a delicate bird or like a seed. But after you do that, you then grab yourself a dry cloth. And you're supposed to dab it like this. Not like that, kids. That's not dabbing. This is dabbing. Darn youngsters with their weird dance styles and giving it weird names. Okay. This way you get a little bit of the moisture off, not a whole lot. You're at least getting a bit. I'm going to go ahead and flip it over and try going over it again. Oh, cool. While I was doing that, I actually got some more pulp. Aha! Take that, seeds. You thought you could outsmart me? I am human, and you are but a seed. Alright. There we go. Like so. Immediately throw this into the laundry hamper. There we go. Then you're supposed to put it into your oven. see how far I can stretch out my computer before it falls on the floor. Supposed to throw it into your oven for 350 degrees Fahrenheit. I think I have to add that. There are still some people that use Celsius. You throw it in here. And you're supposed to cook it for roughly about, give or take 40 minutes. Unfortunately, this video is actually going to have to be in about 2 takes because I actually have work in about 10 minutes on this day, which is Friday. Don't worry, this video will probably come out on like Monday or Tuesday. But yes, I have to do it in 2 takes because I have work here in a little while. Tomorrow I have work at 2 p.m. So I will try to do some more of this video before I go to work. So this is going to conclude this half of this video. I will see you all tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow. So, real quickly, I just want to give off some updates. I burnt the pumpkin seeds. I looked at the wrong thing. I looked at how to bake the pumpkin pie, not how to bake the seeds. Bake the seeds is 15 to 20 minutes. Baking the pie is 40 minutes or 30 minutes. So this is not what they're supposed to look like. They're supposed to be more along the lines of like a golden. So like maybe this one will be better. But this is burnt. It smells burnt. It tastes burnt. I actually went ahead and tried a sample. It's not delicious. That is for sure. It goes in the trash, which I have over here today instead of over here. It's kind of cool. The other thing that I did off camera is I went ahead and removed all of the pulp from the pumpkin slice. I also sliced the pumpkins. Each one of them has been individually sliced. I thought it'd be easier to do that because one of my friends was telling me that I can boil the squash, but I found a thing online that you can actually bake them. So you can put them in the oven for 400 degrees for 40 minutes. I'm going to try that. I'm thinking about trying it with only half of the batch, though. I think that might be a smart idea. Just take half of the batch, try it, and then if it works, do the other half. Because I don't want to screw this up. That would really suck. So let's see here. Let's go ahead. I'm going to take some of this here. Move on this direction. Oh. It's kind of cool that they all look like cantaloupe. Like, seriously, if you're like just looking at it from in front and don't actually look at the skin, it honestly looks kind of like cantaloupe. So, like, my urge to gnaw on this before actually throwing it in the oven is quite high, actually. Even though I probably shouldn't eat it because the last time I did it, yeah, it was pretty fun. So, I have it set up for 400 degrees. I'm going to throw them in the oven. No, I do not have aluminum foil on it. Oh, also the other thing. I have told some of my friends already, and I shall tell you now. I sometimes get quite distracted very easily. So, the other thing that they said was that you can put salt on it, but they also said that it's optional. So I'm probably not going to do it. I'm just going to let you know that you can, if need be, put salt on there. I honestly don't know what it was used for. Probably just to salt things up or to make sure you're not so salty. Okay, we're done. Now we're going to go on my good old-fashioned timer. We're going to set it for, I don't know if you're able to see that, but we're setting it for 30 minutes. Mostly because I'm too afraid to go for 40 minutes, just in case, for whatever reason, it decides to turn out terrible. Also, I'm doing half of the batch, so I might be doing 25. I will look at it later. So, I truly hope that you guys don't mind sitting here and watching the pumpkin pie, or not pumpkin pie, but the pumpkin slices getting all cooked up, because I'm gonna go play video games. So you guys can watch that. Make sure it doesn't burn on me. Okay, just watch it. We're gonna be good. Okay. So off screen, I went ahead and put the other half on there, mostly due to time. I'm trying to get it to a certain part before having to go to work. I don't think this worked. I don't think this worked at all. Kind of just dried it out. Said on the site that it's supposed to, it's supposed to be soft. It does not feel soft. Kind of soft. Although, also in the website, it said that you're supposed to cut it in half and then put the meat side down. I kind of put the meat side up, so that's probably where I screwed up. But that's okay. We're here to have fun, not to do things right. That's also a slight lie. Moving on. We're going to do plan B, I think, which is just remove the skin with the knife. I think that's just going to be easier. Alright. So, of course, how we're going to do this is go back to our handy-dandy pizza pan. We don't need the scoop anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and throw that in the sink. We might need it for cutting up that into smaller bits. I also like big knives. I'm going to remove the skin by using a small knife, though. So, basically try to angle it so that it's right there at the skin. There's still quite a bit of moisture right here. Okay, so basically what boiling it or baking it is supposed to do is supposed to soften it up. Probably enough to do that. Okay. You're literally supposed to be able to take the skin off with your fingers if you had done it right. I obviously did it wrong because I can't do that. By being able to peel off the skin using your fingers, it makes it a little bit faster and a lot less tedious That sigh was because I did it wrong. And now I have to do it the long way. I mean, it's like kind of gliding off a bit. Huh. Okay. Learning experience. We do it wrong the first time so that we can do it right the second time. Kind of cool how it burnt, though. Smells heavily of squash. I wonder why. I think I'm funny. In another one, not another one, but in the... Ow, that's kind of hot. Holy crap, why are you the hot one? Ow. Okay. Anyways, as I was saying, they say that you're supposed to use a baking pumpkin. Don't use a jack-o'-lantern pumpkin. Use a sweet pumpkin. Guess what Draco's using? A jack-o'-lantern pumpkin. You know, I probably should have tried to keep 1/2 so I could try the boiling. Perhaps that would have turned out better. But we're already here, so I guess we're just going to go ahead and continue. Now that we have like 4 left, I've gotten really good at cooking. I saw the steam and said cooking. I've gotten really good at cutting the skin off of the pumpkin. Look at that slice. Look at that nice thin slice. That's the last of them. That is all of them. Yes. So next thing that you're supposed to do is to throw them in a food processor. Draco doesn't have a food processor. Draco has a blender. So what we're going to do, stack them like so. Wait until I'm no longer hiccuping. Darn alcohol. And we're just going to cut them up into smaller pieces so that my blender has a better time at dealing with the squash. Okay. Alright. So the only reason why I think that this blender is going to work the way I'm wanting it to is because, oh, where is it at? Right here. There it is. Right there. Right where my thumb is. Yes. Right there. It says puree. And that is what we need to do. We need to puree the pumpkin so that we can actually make it into the pumpkin pie thing. So we're going to take the chunks of pumpkin, which are slipping out of my fingers. We're not going to overfill it, just simply because I don't know how much this blender is actually able to handle. Got a couple big chunks too. I'm going to put it right about, let's do a few more chunks. How many times can we say few? Alright, one more last big chunk. Of course, you put the lid on, and don't worry, after editing, you will not be getting to hear the blender. For whatever reason, it wasn't doing it with the amount that I had, so I'm going to go ahead and try it with the smaller amounts, maybe. Okay, add a few more. We're going to try it with water now. So I threw in a little bit of water, just a small bit. I'm thinking that maybe because it's just a solid object that it's not going to work unless it has water. You can put down in the comments section how stupid I am or how to actually do this correctly. Anyways. That worked so much better. Look at that. Alright. So it's going to come out kind of like looking like this. Almost like a shake. Still kind of jelly-like though. I'm going to pour it. Look at this. I have it, but it's not going in. Come on. Ew. Go. Go. Oh, you evil sludge monster. Alright. I'm going to remove the excess amount of crap that's just right there. Water worked. So we're gonna do that again. They said that this part, if you're using the food processor or pureer or whatever, it's supposed to take about 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes, I think. I'm using a blender, and it's not taking a too terrible amount of time. So I think, personally, it seems like either one would work, depending on if you have the money for whichever. That's just me, though. This is the last batch. For most of it, I was using about half of the water, give or take. Maybe 75% of the water that is solid. So if your solids is right here, have water to right about here, give or take. That's what I've been doing for... Oh, hey. I didn't even realize that you were doing that. Hello. But that's what I've been kind of doing for each one of these batches. It's about half of what it is that you have as solids. Alright, that is the end of the pureeing. Pureeing? I don't know how to pronounce that. That's the last bit. I'm going to throw it into the container. I am going to get as much of this stuff as I can, I'm going to use one of these flat-handled spatula thingy-majiggies. Probably be easier if... Probably seen it in your own kitchen. So I'm sure you all have been wondering how much puree that one pumpkin made. Well, there's been a reason why I kept the blender in the way. Alright, drum roll. Ta-da! I'm gonna have so much troubles putting the lid on this. Look at all of this puree. I should have gotten 2 containers. I slightly feel stupid, but at the same time, this is hilarious as hell. This is what, like a 1, 2, 3, about 4-inch container by 2.5, give or take. Yes, I use the thumb technique. I don't care. That is how to make the puree. Huzzah! Got about roughly 10 minutes or so before I have to go to work. But for me to look at the next part, how to do it, I'll have to get onto the internet. My phone can be a little bit slow. So I think I'm going to stop here for a moment and finish this up later. It says on the thing, if I remember right, the puree, when it's in puree form, can last in the refrigerator for about a week. After that, it needs to be thrown away. Of course, with it being in puree form and in the freezer, it can last for about a month or so. I'm going to put this in the refrigerator because I was really wanting to get to this part before I had to go to work, because I know I had to work at 2 today. Sunday I have some people coming over, so I'm actually going to finish this on Monday. Monday I have work at 3, so I should be able to finish it then. Earlier in the video I said that this film was going to come out in Monday. It's not. It's not. Because I still have quite a bit of editing, and if I continue to sit here and talk for hours on end, that's what's making the video long, is me talking. So I'm going to quit here. Alright, so on my phone I have the ingredients for what it is that I need. So like in every good TV show that has to deal with cooking, they will read you the ingredients that you need. So you're going to need a 9-inch pie shell. You are going to need pumpkin puree. You are going to need milk, eggs, brown sugar, dark molasses, which I'm switching out for this Kansas-made honey. I feel as though that works well enough. Good exchange. You're also going to need cinnamon, powdered ginger, which I didn't get. It calls for it, but I don't have it, and I'm not gonna go buy it for just one thing. You're also going to need nutmeg, which I did get because I felt as though nutmeg was a little bit important, more so than ginger. You're also going to need ground cloves. I honestly didn't see why that was in the recipe, so I didn't grab it. And the next thing is ground allspice, which I don't even know what that is. Complete honesty here, I have no idea what that is. So, yeah, you can let me know in the comments below. Next is salt. I also don't know what that is. Then the last thing is going to be cornstarch, which I actually recently bought. because I was like, you don't need cornstarch. Then I read that it helps binds everything together and keeps it together. You're going to need that. So, alright. Of course, for those of you that want to go directly to what this says, you'll have to preheat the oven at 425 degrees Fahrenheit. I do not know what that would be in Celsius. So it says that I have to blend the sugar, which I'm going to assume is the brown sugar. I'm going to scroll up to where it says brown sugar because I do not remember how much it is. 2/3. Alright. I have a 1/3 cup. And how you make 2/3 is you just take the 1/3 cup and fill it up twice. I'm going to use this lid to flatten it out to make sure that it is precisely. There you go. Boop. Really like how brown sugar looks like sand. It kind of makes me happy in a way. That'd be the most edible beach ever. It'd be delicious. Next, you gotta open up your phone so that you can look at the ingredients that are on your phone. Oh, it says allspices. Okay, so that would include from brown sugar to... Are we supposed to put the molasses in there next? Oh, what the... Okay, so step 1 is putting all the like dry stuff together, and then in a separate bowl you're supposed to beat the eggs and the milk and the molasses, and then you're supposed to stir it all in with the pumpkin puree. That kind of sounds like a smart idea. At first it sounded dumb. Let's do this. Alright, so you take ground cinnamon, which is going to be the 1/2 teaspoon. Ground cinnamon. You need 1/2 teaspoon. I have 1 teaspoon, so I'm just going to kind of do the dumb thing and try to just get 1/2 of a teaspoon using a full teaspoon. And we're going to use the other side, which is going to make it come out a lot faster. And once again, we get to do the stupid thing. So that's going to be probably a little bit more than 1/2, but it's close enough to 1/2 that I'm okay with it. And then you need to take your 1/4 teaspoon. I am not going to try to do 1/4 on a full. I'm going to see if I can find an actual 1/4 teaspoon. Screw that. Alright. 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, which has not been opened yet. There's a plastic thing. Oh my goodness, that smells like pumpkin pie already. You know what? Let's do this smart. I'm just going to... Whoa. All of a sudden that nutmeg got really powerful. Alright, it's got a really strong smell, so... at first it's kind of nice, but then once you pop open the seal, it kind of gets overpowering pretty quickly. So, a bit of a warning on that when you make this yourself. You got a nice little clump of it, and you just put it in the bowl. Boom. And then 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So I have just a normal generic brand of salt. Pretty cheap. Pretty easy to get. That is almost a whole thing of teaspoon. Jeez, one moment. Don't forget to seal your stuff. Alright, this is actually closer to 1/2 than the freaking cinnamon turned out to be. Boop. Just like so. And the last thing is a whole entire tablespoon of cornstarch. Honestly, the reason why I was like, okay, why is a tablespoon of cornstarch so important? The reason why was because it was the only ingredient that said tablespoon. All the other ones were saying teaspoon. So I was like, okay, well, it's got to be pretty important if it's saying tablespoon. Boom. Alright, I think that's all the solid ingredients. Let's set that over there. Next, we need to take the liquid ingredients and start mixing them together. I do not have another large bowl. Let's see what we can do. One moment. Okay, after much thought, I'm going to go with a medium bowl. There's no other large bowls in our house. I'm going to go grab the milk. So, for our liquid items, the first thing that you're going to need is 3/4 cup of pumpkin puree. Which, once again, we're just going to take the 1/4 and fill it up 3 times to make a 3/4 cup. It's like applesauce! You can't see it, but off screen I'm kind of smiling. It's got like the same condensity as applesauce, which is kind of funny to me. Then you will need 3/4 cup milk. I personally did not want to mix the pumpkin puree with the milk on the same cup thing. So for the milk, I will just be using a regular old measuring cup. On the side of measuring cups, there are, of course, lines with numbers, and it's kind of self-explanatory, so I'm not going to. Alright, once you have your 3/4 cup milk, and then just pour it on in. Are you sure about that? Oh yeah, that's right, there's still the solids. I always worry. And then, if I remember correctly, it said 1/4 cup molasses or honey. Not 1/4 cup, geez, 1/4 teaspoon. Yes. Alright, so you're actually going to need 2 tablespoons of molasses. I did not read that correctly. So what I did off screen was I took a towel and wiped away the cornstarch. This way it doesn't mix in with the honey. 2 tablespoons, Jesus. It should just go right in there. You know, seeing that I get to use the actual honey kind of makes me excited to taste test this freaking pie. The honey that I've got, you're able to get at your local farmer's market. There is a Cox Farm here in Kansas. I'm sorry, I gotta take a little bit. So good. I will admit that the honey, like actual honey, is pretty expensive. So prepare yourself for the pricing. This here itself was like, I think, $10 if I remember right, but I bought it a couple years ago. What's nice about honey is that it lasts forever. You don't have to really worry about it going bad. And the reason why it goes bad is because it has the preservatives and whatnot. And honey doesn't need it. The other thing that's really nice about getting honey from a place that you live at, like if you live in Kansas, get honey from Kansas. Because when you eat honey from a place that you live, it actually has the pollen and whatnot that is collected here in our state. So if you have allergies, it kind of helps you with your allergies. I left it in screen. This way, anybody who wants to like try to write down the address or the phone number that's on the front, they can. I'm also going to go ahead with the same fork, stir in the puree and the other ingredients that I threw in here. Using the same fork because I'm just going to be using the same fork later here in a moment anyways. Then, once you have all that stuff put together, you then pour it in with the solid ingredients. Then continue stirring some more. Oh, there we go. Now we're getting like that dark color that you would normally see from a pumpkin pie. Seems really liquidy. Now that it looks like chocolate milk, we're going to throw it into a 9-inch pie crust. I bought these frozen pie crusts from my work. I work at Dollar General, for those that even care. Over at my store, they were like $2 and some odd change. But you get 2 of them, so that's kind of cool. I don't know if that's deep enough. Alright. Okay. So that filled it up quite a bit. And now I'm kind of worried about how I'm going to pick it up without spilling it. Alrighty then. Let's fix this. Just one moment. Alright. Yeah, we've got a pan right over here. Probably should have put it a little bit closer. But it'll be alright, I think. Yes. No. Don't be a liquid. Don't be a liquid. Don't be a liquid. Don't be a liquid. Huzzah! Alright. Oh, this is gonna be fun, because I have to put the other one on here too. And then I have to try throwing it in there. Yay! So, off camera, I'm going to go ahead and mix in the other one and put the other pie in. This way you don't have to sit here and watch me do all this all over again. While making the second pie, I've come to realize that I done screwed up. I forgot the 3 eggs. I bet you guys are all like, yeah, you forgot the eggs in the first one. And then when I sit here and tell you that I forgot the eggs, you're all like, Draco's stupid. Alright, so I have actual farm eggs. I have some friends, or mostly my dad has some friends who own chickens and whatnot. And sometimes their chickens make a bunch of eggs. And if they have too many, they just give it to us for free. With farm eggs, you'll actually need to rinse off the shell itself. This way it's not all dirty and whatnot. Farm eggs are actually pretty hard shelled. So they seem to have like 2 or 3 layers of solidness. And there you go. There is a pie that's going to have 3 eggs in it. For the second pie crust, there is a piece of paper. So don't forget to remove that, or else you're going to have paper in your pie. I really do not think that this is the proper pie crust, because the egg made the second one a little bit heavier. Alright, so it's actually kind of moving over here, while this one is kind of just sitting at the proper level that the pie would sit at. So I'm actually kind of worried about how well the second pie is going to come out now. I think I'm just going to leave the first pie without the egg and the second pie with the egg, and we will see which one actually turns out better. Alright, so after pouring in the mixture into the shell, you are supposed to bake it in the oven for 15 minutes at the 425 degrees. Once that 15 minutes is up, you are to reduce the temperature to 350 degrees and bake it for another 40 minutes. I hope you all caught that. Putting it in there for 15 and then putting it in there for 40. First one is 425 and the second one is 350. So that's like a total of 55 minutes. I did math right. Alright, cool. So I'm probably not going to show you the fact that I've reduced the time. So we're just going to go ahead and cut to the scene of me throwing it into the oven, hopefully without spilling it. Okay, the oven is now open. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Draco's going to burn himself. Oh, yep, that's what I thought. Pie 2 is spilling onto the tinfoil. Pie 1 is doing fine. Pie 1 and 2 both smell absolutely delicious. And they're in there. Now to set my alarm for 15 minutes. And yeah, I'll see you in the next scene. 55 minutes. You can watch this, right? For 55 minutes. Just make sure it doesn't burn. Okay. I came back because I was thinking that you were kind of wondering how much puree I had left. That's 2 pies. I have only made 2 pies. And this is how much puree I have left. I was thinking maybe this would make roughly about 6 pies. Looking at it now, I'm thinking probably we should double that amount. Maybe it'll do 12. I may stick this in the freezer at some point in time. Because that's a lot. Okay. Now you guys can continue watching this for the next 55 minutes. Bye. Thank you so very much for watching this for 55 minutes. You guys are really nice. I appreciate it. So let's go ahead and see what we have. It honestly does smell as though I may have burnt it. Moving the microphone real quick, just a little bit over in this direction. I feel as though it might have been burnt. I'm hoping that this is wrong, that I'm just smelling things. Oh geez. What is this? Why does it look all goopy? Okay. Pie 2 is not done. It's not done at all. Pie 1 is still boiling. I did find out what that burn smell was. Right here. It's kind of difficult to see. I don't think the camera can even see it at all. No. You know how I said that it spilt? Yeah. It cooked it. So, that's what that burn smell is. Reduced heat. Remove from the oven and allowed to cool. It does not say how to check it. It just says let it cool. I am now extremely worried because normally you can just like stab it with something and find out its condensity. Quite unsure. I'm going to let this cool for like 10 minutes. Maybe it hardens when it cools. Normally at the very end of a cooking show, you see the person who cooked the food take a bite out of what it is that they created. I'm just going to do that instead of like just cutting off an entire slice, I guess. I'm just going to take like a small little sliver off of like just a bit. Okay. This is pie 1. This is the one without the egg. That's actually not bad. It's actually not bad at all. It's pretty damn good. Okay. And this here is pie 2. One with the egg, which I'm just going to take. Okay, cool. I guess I'm getting a bigger piece for this one. I don't think I mixed that right. we're going to eat that one first. Okay, so it's not that it tastes bad. When I mixed it up, I don't think I mixed it completely thoroughly because it fried the egg. So it's more like texture that I don't prefer. Because it's just like it has that. I'm eating a fried egg that tastes like pumpkin pie. That's all it really is. Other than that, freaking delicious. At least the filling is. I don't really care for pie crust. But, yeah. That is how you make a homemade pumpkin pie using actual pumpkin. This was a very long process. But it makes a crap ton of pumpkin pie. This is perfect for if you have some kind of event that's going on where you're just like, oh man, we need, like 15 pumpkin pies. It turns out pretty well. It tastes very good. I like it. So, I, of course, am going to be leaving the ingredients and instructions on how to make this in the link down below. There's going to be 3 links. There's, of course, going to be how to make pumpkin seeds. There's going to be how to make pumpkin puree. And then the third one is how to make pumpkin pie. So, they're, of course, going to be down there. If you like this video, share it, at least. That'd be kind of cool. If not, hit the dislike. I don't really care. Have a good day. I hope you enjoy the show. Peace out. See you in the next video.